How you guys doing? Eric here. Today is Tuesday, July 17th, I think. Yeah, 2018. A nice day up here in Gilpin County, Colorado. Beautiful summer day. And yeah, I got another day off today. No big deal to me, man. I'm really enjoying it, man. I got lots of work to do on my house still, so you know I'm doing all right, man. I'm not hurting for nothing. Got money to cover everything, so I don't mind having a few days off of work, man. Fuck it. That's the way it is in America, right? We all got to be a slave to that almighty dollar. In God we trust. Everybody else pay cash. In America, yep. But yeah, speaking of America, I watched an interesting video this morning about the modern day America, modern America today, in the age of terrorism, right? The post 9/11 world that we're living in here. It's a very interesting topic to me, man, because I've seen the whole thing unfold in my lifetime, man. You know, this whole fucking grand shit show, whatever you want to call it, man, I've seen it unfold, man, and I've seen this country change, if you want to call it a country, this corporation, man, in my lifetime. Fuck, it's like I knew about it all, you know. I mean, I always known all my life that there was some fucking horrible thing going on, you know, with the government. I mean, my parents always told me that, you know, the whole, I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about this before, you know, that war was for profit, for the rich, and, you know, that the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and you can't fight City Hall, all that kind of shit that we're brainwashed with all our lives. So yeah, you know, 9/11 happened, and, you know, it was pretty interesting to me how, because even I fell for it, kind of, you know, even though I knew there was something else going on besides what they were telling us. You know, I knew there was something deeper to the story than just the official story, right? But this video I was watching today, you know, was like a mainstream, right? It was like an HBO special, so it was all, you know, pretending that all the official stories were the truth, you know, like that was actually done by Al Qaeda and Osama bin Laden, and the whole story, right? They were pretending that was what really happened. But yeah, I kind of find it interesting to watch those kind of documentaries that are mainstream, that takes all the fucking official story as the gospel truth. And I just sit there and listen to it and watch and just shake my head like, yeah, whatever, sure, dude, yeah, whatever. I remember believing that too when it first happened. But yeah, it was interesting because, you know, how they use these events to fucking rally the American people's patriotism, and it fucking works every time, you know? It's amazing to me how easy it is to get the stupid American people to fucking go to war for you with a handful of fucking lies and a bullshit fucking demolition of some buildings. And 99% of the American people were fucking ready to go fucking fight the world for them. Amazing, man. But they really are, man. They're so brainwashed into this patriotism and pride of country. Oh, man. USA, 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 USA. Yeah, oh, man, that makes me sick when that shit starts happening. Like some big fucking turd will be giving a speech, and all of a sudden all the people will stand up and start chanting, give him a standing ovation, and then break into the USA, USA. Bunch of fucking idiots, man. But yeah, it's interesting how they did it, man. How 9/11 happened, and they got all the people to rally behind it, behind their own fucking demise, man, as they passed the Patriot Act. And a lot of people are pointing out, you know, hey, man, they're passing a fucking act to take our rights away. Oh, well, that's what we have to do because of terrorism, you know. And then we just watched all our rights and freedoms eroded away since 2001. And, you know, but now I think finally, you know, it took me a while, probably till 2005 or 6, so I finally even considered that it was an inside job. So one guy that I worked with, fucking, he had the internet back then, I didn't, and he started showing me some shit. I'm like, wow. See, I couldn't get the internet at my house till 2011. But I used to use the library a lot, but you know, this other people would start waking me up, and then when I finally started looking into it for myself, man, you know, the whole awakening thing process that people go through. But fascinating stuff though, man. And now here we are 17 years later almost, and yeah, it's gonna, they keep doing it, man. They gotta always keep us on the edge, man. There's gotta be more terror attacks, because that's the only way they can keep the fucking shit show going, man. You know, they gotta keep the memory of 9/11 alive. Otherwise, you know, it's just amazing to me though how fucking all these cops and shit, they still use 9/11 as an excuse to violate people's rights. And I know a lot of these fucking cop watchers are saying, because in this day and age fucking story, right, 9/11 blah blah blah, which happened almost 18 years ago, or almost 17 years ago, and you guys are still talking about it like it was fucking yesterday. Sick of that fucking shit, man. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more terror attacks. There'll always be more terror attacks. Every year there'll be terror attacks. But I don't think they'll have to ever do one again quite as grandiose as 9/11, right? It was like, that's how you know it's fucking bullshit. How they do shit. It's so fucking huge and grandiose and over the top that it seems like it's fucking ridiculous. 9/11 was fucking ridiculous. You know, so huge and over the top and such a bullshit story. Just like all their fucking shit is, man. Like the nuclear bomb hoax. It's all such bullshit. And such a gigantic fucking lie. And it's like Hitler said, man. If you tell a big enough lie, everyone will believe it. So anyways, yeah, Hitler was a pretty smart guy. I'm out of breath trying to talk. You gotta get the thought out when it comes to mind, whenever it is. Otherwise, you might lose it. Anyways, yeah, that's 9/11's coming up again real soon. Their 17th celebration of it every year. Their giant, stupid, grandiose, fucking ridiculous fucking attack. The huge lie that everybody believes, right? And every year they have this big ceremony to keep the memory alive, you know, like it's like a military event every year, right? They fucking shut down all of Ground Zero and fucking say all the fake names of all the fake victims all day long, and it's on all the news channels every fucking year. So you know it's fucking bullshit. Anyways, yeah, man, that's why the powers that be have to keep pulling off these false flag terror attacks. Every one of them is a false flag. They got to keep pulling these false terror attacks in order to keep their fucking bullshit charade going for the unforeseeable future. Back then though, man, even George Bush was saying, you know, this war on terror, it could take decades, even generations, maybe centuries, he was saying, man. Like, what the fuck is he talking about, man? Do you know why? Because he knows that they're going to be fucking ruling over us for the fucking, they're going to have a fucking iron fist police state, fucking new world order ruling over us for the rest of our fucking history. So they got to keep this war on terror going on as indefinitely. But yeah, it's interesting, you know, the war on terror, you know, it's so vague. You know, there's no really defined enemy, you know, it just evolves over time, you know. The war on terror, you know, it can be anything. It could be domestic terror here at home, you know, and I think that's where it might be headed. To cyber terror, you know, it's the never-ending, evolving fucking war on terror, man. It's just, you know, it morphs into whatever fucking niche they need it for, to fucking keep us under control, basically. But yeah, with the war on terror, if you really look at Terra, is a lot like Terra, which means Earth. So it basically means the never-ending fucking war on planet Earth. And basically, the entire population is the enemy of the state, of the governments. And that's what the war on terror is, man. It's against all of us. Every human on Earth is a fucking enemy. Anyways, they never really took away our rights anyways, really, because in reality, we never really had the fucking rights that they said we had in the first place. It seems like throughout all of American history, as soon as the people start exercising their rights, the fucking government fucking clamps down on them and fucking stomps them out. So yeah, we never had any fucking rights in America. It's all a big fucking delusion.